All right, so here's Pre-Calculus 30. This is a review question for Chapter 1. And of course, we're talking about function transformations. And so here in this question, number 3 from the review assignment, page 56, we're talking about what happens to the range of the transformed function given that we have in the original function this range. So the original function has a range of -2 to 5 inclusive. So I'm going to draw that real quick over here on the side, and I'm just going to make a random function. Here's y equals -2. Here's y equals 5, right? And so if we just have some regular random function like this, it goes from -2 to 5. Doesn't matter what it looks like. What matters is what these transformations represented by this new equation, what these transformations do to the graph and how it affects range. So obviously this graph right here, if we were to take that and move it according to the transformations, so watch this. Here's my graph right here. And this -2 or this -2 inside here means that we moved the graph, whatever the graph is, 2 units to the right. So 2 units to the right. So that's approximately 2 units to the right. Okay? Oh, I don't want that. I want to leave both of them there. Okay. Okay, so you see that? So this is 2 units to the right. Now, how did that change the range? The range was -2 to 5 before. If we move it just to the right, the range is unmoved. Okay? So anything that happens inside there to the x is going to affect the domain, the x values, not the y values. Okay? So this one doesn't affect the range. But what happens here? Well, we know that this 4 moves the graph up or down. In this case, because it's a +4, this graph is moved upwards. So I'm going to take this graph again, and I'm going to now move this up 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units. Okay? So there we go. Now, this is where this graph would be. So obviously the range has now changed. We've added 4 units, right, to the lower range, and we've added 4 units to the upper limit there. So -2 to 5 becomes, right, so y equals f of x minus 2 plus 4. The range here for this function is going to now range between, well, +2 and 9. So 2 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 9. That's the range on the new function. So remember, the domain is affected by this parameter here, the h, that's inside of the x. That's the domain. Also, the domain is affected by the a value, if there was an a value there. So if we had a different a value there, the whole thing would stretch upward. So watch this. If I could, if you remember how an a value works. So let's say I want to, an a of 2, well, look what happens. This thing stretches up by a factor of 2. You see that? So that's obviously going to affect the range. And then moving up or down affects the range as well, see? So if a was 2 and y was a -6 or something, this is what the graph would look like. And so you'd have to take into account the a value and the k value in affecting the range. Okay, so there's question number 3. Hope that helps.